Mark Hebner's book, Index Funds, the 12-step recovery program for active investors, has helped people around the world to learn about investing and to make rational and informed investment decisions. But it's also had a significant influence on investment professionals. It's challenged and changed the way they think about investing, and in some cases inspired them to take a different course in their career. I've been discussing Mark's book and the impact it's had with Lucas Schneider, Vice President at Dimensional Fund Advisors in Berlin. Lucas, guten Tag. Thanks for your time. Tell me, when and how did you first hear about Mark Hebner's book?
Rob and I studied in Austria and in Dublin at university, and had the great fortune to have economics lecturers who were big fans of the efficient markets hypothesis. So I couldn't avoid hearing about Gene Farmer and the efficient markets hypothesis. And then during my course of studies, I just got intrigued and wanted to learn more about indexing, passive investing, and so on. And I even ordered Harry Markowitz's book on portfolio selection. And I had to send it back because it was just full of formulas. So there was no text, it was just formulas. And then I discovered Mark Hebner's book. That was back in 2005. And it was just super useful for me to get a more practical insight. And that was when I think learned more about indexing, Vanguard, dimensional, and the whole contribution that financial science made to to that work. Before that, I only had the theoretical knowledge at university on the efficient markets hypothesis.
What did you make of the book when you first read it?
I'd say, so for me, it was really an eye-opener. And my plan was to go into portfolio management or conventional investments. But when I realized those implications, that the efficient markets hypothesis and all of the academic findings that Mark highlights in his book, what it actually means, I think that meant for me I should go into a different direction. And that's when I really applied for an internship at Dimensional. And I haven't heard about Dimensional before I read Mark's book. And in the book, I think there's great praise for indexing and passive investing, but there's also this notion that you have some other academic factors like the size and the value effect and all of that kind of stuff. And that's when I applied for an internship at Dimensional in Sydney and in London, and then eventually got an internship at Dimensional in London to learn even more about that academic background.
Lucas, the book is still going strong after 20 years. What do you think is the secret of its success?
I think Mark's book is an entertaining read, and it tells the story, and it's very practical, going through that step by step in those 12 steps. So I think for anyone who doesn't want to go straight super deep, I think it's a great starter to really learn about what actual, long-term investing really is about.
So how would you summarize the contribution Mark Hebner has made to investors, not just through his book, but also his website, his video content, his famous charts, of course, and index fund advisors?
I think he had a huge contribution. I know for a fact a lot of UK advisors or German advisors, they go to his website, they they get information from there. So I think he's just done a really tremendous job in distilling that information, making it practical, making it relevant, making it understandable for advisors and for private investors. So I think the contribution was huge and way beyond his immediate clients at his firm Index Fund Advisors. In German I'd say, vielen Dank, Mark. Du hast einen großartigen Beitrag geliefert, Investieren und wissenschaftliches Investieren bekannter zu machen. Breit, also nicht nur in Amerika, sondern auch in Europa, in Deutschland. Dafür sind wir sehr dankbar. Vielen Dank.
Lucas, thank you. It's been a pleasure talking to you.